The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
Frank Murray from the Evergreen Park Library sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Frank and everything else on this program brought to you, as always, by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, located in that iconic building at the corner of 95th and Pulaski, a building that I always associated as the entryway to the EP. The First National Bank of Evergreen Park is something I associate with my family. Not only do I have my checking account there and my business account there, but all three of my children have accounts there as well. The two older kids that have jobs, they're getting their direct deposits in there. They have the freedom of moving around and using any ATM without a fee. The youngest guy is using the Junior Savers account. He gets a statement every month so I can show him what interest is and how his money grows. Great online tools, and they're great people to hang out with. I love going in there and seeing an actual person. They know who I am. I know who they are. That way, when there's a problem, it gets fixed right away. And not a lot of problems there, trust me. Stop in and see them today. The First National Bank of Evergreen Park, member FDIC. Frank Murray's on this program. If you missed any of the recent programs, go on back. Interesting discussion last week. It's still on demand. Evergreen Park High School head basketball coach Jim Sexton was on. We had some of the kids putting on a performance with the Evergreen Park High School Theater. And the week before that, village trustee Mark Marzullo. Anytime you miss an episode, it's on demand forever. So check those episodes out after you listen to this one. And if you don't want to miss one when it comes out, make sure you are subscribed. Whatever podcast player you're using, hit the follow button, the subscribe button, add it to your podcast playlist. Facebook does not show you every episode. That's why you want to subscribe to one of the feeds. You can see them all at theeppodcast.com. My friend, how's your winter going?
Winter?
It's not as heavy of a winter. We're getting like 40 degree, 50 degree days. We're going to have some warmth this week from what I saw in advance. Very different February than Februarys I was used to as a kid. Does this throw off library programming? Were you planning on doing ice sculptures and now you have to scratch it?
Yeah, we were going to do a huge ice rink in the parking lot, and we just couldn't do that
Couldn't
anymore.
do it.
So, yeah. But actually, we had our big fundraiser last weekend.
The Sip and Sample. Which I didn't go to. And I know you're mad at me.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't make it to it. I was under the weather, and it just wasn't working out for me.
We'll get you there back next time. But speaking, having a mild winter really helped because we didn't have to worry about a snowstorm that day,
right?
Or severe cold. I
saw the pictures. Looks like you had a
people.
big crowd.
It was awesome.
Big crowd in the library for that.
So we set the ticket sales at 190, and we sold out within like a couple days before the event.
Yeah,
we weren't sure if we were going to hit it or not, but we sold out, and we had a wonderful event. Great turnout, and the support from the community was awesome. And then the different sponsors who sponsored the event and the restaurants that participated, all was a big hit. So I was manning the front desk, the welcome desk, and helping sell raffle tickets. I didn't get a chance to stop and do anything for about an hour and a half into the event because it was so busy.
You didn't even get to sip or sample.
I did a little bit of both, but by that time, it was like about 8:30. I got to finally kind of walk. I should say 7:30, 8 o'clock. I got to finally kind of walk around, and you're looking around at all these vendors, and it's just the last of their food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a successful event right there. They had everybody enjoy the food. Great time.
That's awesome.
Great time.
That's awesome. Before you get into all the stuff going on at the library, I wanted to tell you about something that I saw this weekend. That from the moment it was happening, I was like, I have to tell this story on the EP podcast. As I tell this story, please know that I believe in telling this story that I'm really not throwing anybody under the bus because I had never seen this person before, and I'm not going to give any identifiers out about it. Okay. But I saw something that, like, you have those moments where you laugh, but you're also cringing because you feel for the person that's involved in it. Now, I've asked you this before. I'm not throwing you under the bus with this. I don't know if you go to church. I think you're part of the Redeemer Parish.
I am, yes.
Which is the biggest parish in Evergreen Park, just because it's the only one that's got everybody involved in it geographically in Evergreen Park. Some of the other parishes bleed into Mount Greenwood or whatever. Okay, so this is the only one that like encompasses all of Evergreen. And if you're not part of this parish, you're not around the people in Most Holy Redeemer, you don't need to know about it to hear this story. But they have a fairly big church. You've been in that church before, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I go on Sunday Mass this weekend. And they're doing this thing, the Catholic Church right now, called the Annual Catholic Appeal. And this is just them asking for more money, right? Like you got your money that you give, and then you get more money, and then there's more money over here, and there's a raffle over here. Like they're always asking for money, right? So the way that the Annual Catholic Appeal works is that the poor priest has to walk out there and play like an audio file from the cardinal who asked for money and guilts you. You don't give us money, we can't do all this stuff. Like you have to sit there and listen to it. So the week after, they'll do a follow-up. It's required that the church does this. The priest, I guarantee you, doesn't want to do this. Doesn't want to go out there and ask for money 2 weeks in a row. But he's required by his boss, the cardinal, to walk out there and say, did anybody not turn in their envelope? Either giving money or saying, I'm not giving this year. Anybody at all, right? So he comes out there. He's in the middle of the Mass. It's the homily, right? It's at the midpoint in the Mass. And he stands up there and he goes, is there anybody who didn't fill out an envelope, mail in an envelope, get an envelope sent to their house because they donated last year? Like there's a million different ways that you could be done with this, right? And he looks around the church and he goes, all right, I don't see any hands. And he stops. There's one guy up in the front who made the mistake of putting his hand up.
Did he put his hand up? Oh,
he put his hand up.
Oh, boy.
And what happens then is that means an usher has to come walking all the way down the aisle with an envelope and a pencil for this guy. And what it also means that the priest now has to go step by step.
No, with filling
through the
out
entire process with one guy. There's 100-some people sitting in the pews. And we're all, you could just, everybody's looking around at each other like, this guy should have kept his hand down. And he realized it too. Because the priest goes, all right, we have one guy. And you could see the guy in the front going, oh, I should have checked to see if anybody else had their hand up. Right? Like he was, and then the priest has to go through the thing. On line 1, print your name. On line 2, put your address. He has to go through every line because that's what he's required to do. And he's speaking directly to one guy while everybody else sits there and waits. And I could tell that this poor guy wanted to climb into a hole and hide. And you know what, buddy? We've been there. If the guys listen, we've been there, man. I don't know who he was. I felt terrible for him. My kids leaned over and they're like, are you kidding me? I'm like, don't say anything. Poor guy's going through enough right now. There's 100 people watching him take step-by-step instructions on how to fill his name in to an envelope.
To an envelope.
Yeah. And then at the end, the priest has to call an usher back down to collect his envelope only.
Boy.
While everybody sits there and waits.
Do they have like a Venmo account now for Catholic Appeal or anything?
Yeah, wouldn't it have been better if it were
QR code they could scan?
Yeah,
and
by the
donate?
way, just scan the QR code, send in your money, nobody put up your hands, and we're moving on. That would have been a lot better. Nothing like Catholic guilt. They get you.
It gets you. It gets you.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. What do we got going on at the library? We're at the very end of February here. You got anything big coming up here? Are we looking ahead already to March and leprechauns? And I've seen that there are some, only on the south side of Chicago, do people put green Christmas lights all over their house to celebrate St. Patrick's Day a month in advance. But you can see it.
'Tis the season.
You don't see it anywhere else. Trust me. I lived all over this country. It's the only place that you see it. But what do we got? What's the big thing right now?
So we have 2 big events coming up in March. We've got our second job fair.
Okay.
That's going to be Sunday, March 10th.
Those are good. My kid found a job through that. Both of them did.
That's awesome. Those are the success stories we love to hear about that, Chris.
Yeah. And the deal is that you walk in, you got all different levels, right? You got people that are professionals that are looking for a job. You got local businesses that are looking for kids to work or like part-time employees. But like they come in and you kind of walk along and you kind of see what's available. You get to talk to the owner in a lot of
Correct.
a lot of respects. Sometimes you talk to somebody who's a recruiter, and you just kind of move through the whole thing. I like that better than going online and just clicking on a button and hoping that somebody reads it.
Right.
You know? So what day is this one
And
again?
businesses are prepared. They're prepared to schedule an interview with you or interview you on the spot.
Right.
We make sure our study rooms are available. So if they need to conduct an interview, they have that space to do so.
my one tip for you is don't show up in your pajama bottoms.
That's a good tip.
Saw a guy
That's
do that
really good
last year.
tip.
I was like, that guy's not getting hired.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, you gotta show up dressed like you wanna work.
You want a job.
Right, you want a job.
Yeah.
You know, shave.
Dress for the job you want.
Take a shower
right?
that morning.
Dress for the job you want.
Right, exactly.
So that's Sunday, March 10th from 1 to 3 p.m. We are going to have OSF will be there, the Village Evergreen Park, District 124, Pace Bus, Nancy's Home Care, Culver's, Mercy Circle, Payless Heights Park and Rec, along with Alsip Park District, Oberweis, Aero Special Ed. And that's what we have right now. We're hoping to get a couple more to match last year's, but we're really excited. And in addition to the businesses, you can sit and talk with them, see what they have available. We'll also have expert resume writers on hand where you can sit down one-on-one with them. They'll review your resume with you and offer some great suggestions. And we're also going to be doing we did it last year. You can come in and get a professional headshot.
I want one of those.
I
just want to get a professional. I don't have anything. I don't take pictures well. So maybe just some kind of professional headshot for myself. I'm not even looking for a job. Just something I could put up.
Just so you got. I mean, right. you can update your LinkedIn profile with a good picture.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different things
I've
you can
lost
use.
30 pounds in the last year. Like, let's get a thin face Chris out there into the public.
Chris.
Right.
It's always been a thin face,
right.
Chris.
Well, we little thinner face, right? little thinner face.
So the other big thing, we are the library's partnering with the Evergreen Park Community High School. District 231. And
is this the YA Literary Fest?
YA Lit Fest,
we
yes.
have been supporting that since they came up with the idea. Did you hear the initial interview with Tina Ward and Mary Black when they came on here?
Yeah.
They came on here. One is a librarian over at the high school and the other one with you.
Correct.
And they come up with this idea and they go get these authors. But when they sat down here the first time, all they had was a dream and no money and nobody scheduled. And they just had a date, which I thought was bold. Right? To sit down and say, we're having this literary festival in March on the 16th, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, Saturday, March 16th.
They knew exactly what day they were doing it. They had nobody booked. They had no money. And they were doing a festival for the first time ever. And I thought they were nuts. And then when they showed up around the holidays to give me the update, and they were so close on the money, and they were starting to book some big name authors.
Yep.
I was like, that's incredible. And now so many authors have been reaching out to me because they want to promote themselves being there in advance of the festival. So this is going to be a big event, I think. And YA is basically a youth type books,
young
right?
Adult.
Young adult. These are like the fantasy books. This would be like that silly movie with the vampires and the werewolves where they all were really cute teenagers running around. Remember that? Twilight, yes. It'd be like Twilight.
If
you're into Twilight or any of these other fantasy novels or things that or something that's like deals with
there's
young
serious
adults.
Young adult content too.
There are serious young adult content things.
Like, for example, one of our
But I just picture, vampires.
Yeah, you
hunky
picture vampires.
Sure. Is what whenever you say YA Literary Fest, I'm thinking hunky vampires everywhere.
Yeah, so there'll be a hunky vampire possibly,
That's
but
good.
there's going to be a lot of other content. We have one author. His name's Arshay Cooper. He grew up on the South Side and went to CPS. And
this is the rowing guy, right?
This is the rowing guy. Yeah, he's part of the first all African American rowing team in Chicago, in the world, in the United States. But it started here in Chicago, and I'm blanking on the high school that he went to right now, but.
That's okay. I think that the librarians have said it several times.
Yes,
around here.
It might be mainly
librarians
high school.
More in tune to this than you.
And I have read the book and I've watched his documentary. But now that we're sitting here talking about it, and I'm on the spot here, my brain can't recall.
It's always that way. Don't worry about it.
But so we have 9 authors. We're going to be doing a variety of activities. There's going to be different writing workshops to start the event.
Is it at the high school?
It's at the high school.
Okay,
yes.
that's what I thought. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
thank you for
Evergreen
clarifying
Park
that.
Library is supporting it, but it's at the high school on the 16th.
Yeah, we teamed up. We're hearing all these stories about and data coming back that teen literacy is dropping.
Yeah.
And so what
It's
can
the
we do?
Screens.
What can we do?
These dummies just look at screens all day long.
Screens, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've got a couple of dummies in the house. Well, actually, one. I got one that looks at screens all day long, and then his sister reads books. So she'll be going, but I want her to drag the other guy out of the house for
drag him.
Just a couple hours.
Bring him with.
Hey, buddy, they write stuff down and they put it on pages. You should look at it every once in a while. Right?
They're really good.
It's really good. You just, put down the Instagram for a few minutes.
And the first, I believe it was 125, and I believe it's up to 150, but the first 125 to 150 students that register are going to get a coupon from Bookies for a free book.
Oh, so they can get in right now and register?
Right now and
Where
register.
Where do they do that?
Online on our website, the library's website, evergreenparklibrary.org, or through the high school as well.
All right, so get in there. It's going to be a full festival. It was suggested last time I was on the show that they may want me to attend and help out, but I'm not sure if that's the case. I was told to keep the date open.
Okay.
So but if they found somebody else, that's fine.
Okay.
Right?
You're okay with it.
We're talking about hunky vampires. I do not compare. So if you found a hunky vampire to MC or get up there, by all means use that instead of me.
Instead of you.
Otherwise, cool. it's just 46-year-old Chris with some fake teeth. That's all I can bring you.
Fake teeth. You got a great elevator pitch there. Right?
Yeah.
That's a great, good one.
Slightly thinner face. Quick reminder to everybody in the area listening to the EP podcast, Saturday, March 2nd, the Mother Macaulay High School Fathers and Mothers Clubs are putting on a great night of comedy. Headlining this 21 and over event is going to be Mike Toomey of WGN. Joining him, local comedians Tim Walco, Bill Bunker, Brian Good. Your $50 ticket includes a delicious corned beef buffet dinner from Clancy's in Oak Lawn, as well as chicken and pasta from Baracco's. There's a cash bar, split the pot, raffle prizes like a 75-inch LG 4K TV. Purchase individual tickets or an entire table of 8 at mothermacaulay.org/parents/comedy-night. As for other things going on in Evergreen Park, let's do your word on the street. Your quick look at everything going on in Evergreen Park brought to you by Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Great for date night. 21 and over establishment. Don't bring the kids in there. You deserve an evening without them. Wines from all over the world and incredible food. Plus, if you find something you like, you can purchase a bottle right there in the wine shop and bring it home. See more at SpokenVineWines.com. The last time we talked to Mark Marzullo, village trustee, he was talking about village board meetings, and he had one coming up. At that village board meeting, the board passed an ordinance eliminating the requirement for vehicle stickers. Residents of Evergreen Park are no longer required to purchase vehicle stickers. You do have to keep your registration current, though, with the state of Illinois. If you want to know why they decided to do that, that's a question you could ask Mayor Kelly Burke when you join her for coffee, 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. at the Community Center on February 24th for Coffee with the Mayor. Meanwhile, pickleball fever has gripped Evergreen Park. There's adult pickleball drop-in play that begins on February 20th at the Maple Well Center at 3450 West Maple. It's happening Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. until noon, $5 a day. And you can learn all about pickleball with Pickleball for Beginners on March 14th from 10 to noon and March 16th from noon to 2. Instructor John Dwyer is going to be at the Maple Well Center. Ages 21 and over, learn all about it for the low cost of $59. Limited space, register early. For more information, contact the rec department at 708-229-3373. I'm going to have the rest of the events coming up handled by Frank Murray, because if he's down here, I got to let him just rattle off some more stuff. He's brought to you right here at the end by SidSauce.net. Hot sauces with the peppers grown here in Evergreen Park, bottled in so many different delicious flavors, and delivered to your door for free. See more at SidSauce.net. All right, so there's a lot going on in Evergreen Park this week. You have a lot going on over the next couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Dive into it here with me. Let's say I got about 10 minutes left of this show.
All right.
Dive in and just start rapid firing to
rapid fire
everything that the library has coming up. And I will try to make it entertaining. It's hard.
and you'll try to
because it's library events.
It's library events.
Yeah,
It's hard.
don't
It's
worry,
easy, man.
I will try
This
my
is
hardest
easy.
to
This
throw
is
in a
easy.
few quips while you're doing this.
Oh, you're always good for a quip or two.
but they're not always that good. But I'm going to try very hard for some late show quips to kind of dress this up a
late
little
show
bit.
quips.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
here we go.
What do we got?
So we'll start with the adults and their programs that we got going on. We have New York Times bestselling author and award-winning romance author Julia Quinn. She's going to be on Zoom on Tuesday, February 20th at 7 p.m. She is, of course, the author that wrote the Bridgerton series, with this now extremely popular on Netflix. So that author is coming to you.
The Bridgerton author.
Yes.
He's jumping on the Zoom.
She's jumping on the Zoom.
All
and
right.
she's made possible through the Illinois Libraries Presents consortium that we're part of with about 150 other libraries.
These Zoom things, right? I mean, it's not as personal as in the building. I'm sure
Correct.
you'd love to have them in the
We
building.
would love to have her in the building.
How do these go? Is there a lot of question and answer? Does it become like a free-for-all with people all trying to jump in and ask questions? Like, how does the Zoom thing go?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's a great question,
I have
Chris.
not
Yeah.
seen one of them yet.
So there's a moderator, and they will ask predetermined questions about, from everything about their past books, their current book that they're trying to promote. And then there is a Q&A session that they open up for people, and you can type in the chat box, and they can't obviously answer everyone,
Right.
Because they're
not going to answer the stupid questions.
At some
Don't
point,
ask stupid
sometimes there's 10,000 people listening.
Yeah,
or
that could be
watching this.
10,000 stupid
So
questions.
There's
You know
10,000
that.
questions.
Yeah.
So, they do their best to answer and ask all those questions.
Cool. What else we got?
So what else do we got? We also have coming up, we've got a writer's corner, a flash in the pan, short fiction with Kathleen Rooney. That's Thursday, February 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Another writing workshop for those that want to sharpen their pencil and start writing.
Are you guys short on books at the library? It seems like you're constantly trying to teach people how to write. Is this a supply and demand issue? Are people not writing books anymore? And you guys are like, we gotta, like, you're like the White Sox trying to start a farm team down south of the border of like 12-year-olds because you're just trying to find players. Like, are we in trouble?
We're trying to get more books on the shelf. I love it. That's funny. Yeah, no, we're just trying to get people. There's a lot of people that are inspired but want to make that push. And hopefully
You're like,
that'll
we'll
give them
take
that push.
anybody. Just write something down on a piece of
let's
paper.
go.
We'll put it on the
Let's
shelf,
go.
people. Yeah.
Right. Promote that. I mean, you can empower somebody to fulfill a dream. That's
Right.
That's pretty
You
awesome.
can only read the Hardy Boys so many times. We need new authors.
And then for those folks that are looking to improve their tech skills, we got a Google Drive class Thursday, February 22nd at 1 p.m. You're going to learn to save documents, upload files, create folders. Jess is our computer teacher, and she's amazing. She's wonderful. You'll learn a lot with her.
I had to learn the Google Drive recently.
You had to learn the Google Drive?
Yeah, I had to do that because if you notice, Southside Pie, one of the other podcasts that's recorded down here, a little bit of a different show, is now videos all over the TikTok and the interwebs and on the, it's on the YouTube and everything else like that. And the person putting the videos together needs all the footage shot down here. And the only way I can get those giant files in 4K they're shot is through Google Drive. So, I mean, it's a good thing to know how to use the Google Drive, share the Google Drive, because I'm an idiot. And we had several days of production of those videos held up because I was too stupid to figure out how to use it. So if I would have known about this class, we would have gotten them out sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good program. I'm with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to freshen up again
Yeah.
or master it, come on in. Thursday, February 22nd, 1 p.m. We also, so there's an eclipse coming up. I didn't know if you knew this. There's a total solar eclipse. It's going to be on April 8th, 2024.
There's a solar eclipse coming? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
What
April
day
8th.
is this?
April 8th,
Okay.
2024.
Yeah.
So we have the glasses so
almost
you
burned
can
my-
safely look
Yeah.
at them without burning any of your...
I thought I burned my eyes out a couple years ago. The last time that they did it, last solar eclipse, I was working midnights for the Cook County Sheriff's Police. And the kids came into the room to wake me up. And they're like, Dad, you got to come see this. And I didn't know what it was. And I walk outside and they're like, look. And I looked up, bare eyes at the solar eclipse. I was like, no! Like I thought my eyes were going to burn out right away. Turns out they don't burn out if you just glance up at first.
Yes.
You got to stare at it for a while.
But yes.
Just saying.
Don't, I would not recommend doing either.
Don't do it.
Get
Don't
some
go
glasses.
blind.
So we have limited number of glasses that are available while supplies last. We're gonna start giving them out March 8th.
Okay.
Please don't come before March 8th.
You want these
Come
glasses. You don't want cut rate black market solar glasses. You don't want those. That's how your eyes get burned out.
And there's a limit of 4 per family.
Right.
So we're doing that
If
to make sure everybody gets
if
a
it's
pair.
you, your wife, and 3 kids, one of those kids is going blind.
You're gonna have to share.
The library does not have enough for little Jimmy. Tell little Jimmy he'll be alive long enough to see another one. He's the youngest.
He's the youngest. Oh, man. And moving on to our teens, we have a reoccurring program that we call Snack and Steam. And our last one for the winter is going to be February 27th. We're going to be a teachable machine is going to be the focus of that Snack and Steam. And before you ask what teachable machine is, Chris, I don't have the details. You got to come in on February 27th.
My question to you is
it's going to be at 3:30 p.m.
Do you get a good amount of teenagers showing up to do extra homework? Because that's essentially what this is, right?
After school, we always have a good crowd.
So they're showing up and they're like, I spent the whole day in school and I want more.
Chris, you know what's pretty neat? This program is pretty popular because when we started it, because we got kids after school and they're bored, they're sometimes not using the library properly.
Right.
And let's try to harness that energy in a different way. And our teen librarian, Mary Black, who we talked about already.
She was like, let's get these kids some homework.
Let's do this. And it's been extreme. Like, she has combined all sorts of different activities, and we have 8 to 12 kids in there all the time for this program regularly.
All right.
And she'll take like cooking, and they teaches them ratios and putting it in, and then they get some food afterwards. What they made is ready for them to go. It's been really successful.
That's awesome. I actually really like the idea of what you're doing over there with that.
We've had parents come in. They're like, "Are you going to do this for adults? Like, what's going on? We want to be involved." So it's a fabulous job. But Mary has come up with another great idea. It's an after-hours Swiftie fandom party, Friday, March 8th, for our grades 6 through 12. Enjoy trivia, friendship bracelets, karaoke, and there'll be some delicious red velvet cupcakes there. Registration is required because it's an after-hours event, so we got to get you registered. Again, Friday, March 8th at 5 p.m.
Speaking of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Did you see her boyfriend at the Kansas City Chiefs parade?
Yeah, who is he again?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
As he would have said on the microphone, my name is Travis. He couldn't say it because he was hammered and he had to be held up by Patrick Mahomes. And then he just shouted a lot.
And then he shouted.
I mean, like, I watched that guy act like a goof on stage hammered. And I was like, even I could probably date Taylor Swift if these are her standards. I think him acting like that gave all men hope that one day they could end up with an international pop superstar. He's just a lush on camera.
Oh, man.
She's going to get back from Japan and see that video and be like, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Then there'll be a song about it. It'll be called Drunken Tight End.
He has had quite a year.
Yeah, he's had a good year.
He's had a good year.
I feel like he's headed for a fall, though. I do. I mean, come on. I do. He looks like he's like Icarus getting too close to the sun, right? She was there. His brother's running around, shirtless in Buffalo, and then he's in a lucha libre mask running around with his new girlfriend.
They're having a lot of fun.
At some point, you feel like Taylor's going to look at him and be like, this was a blast. And it's over. He's going to fly way too close to the sun, this guy. She's worth $1 billion, if not more. She don't need him.
Maybe she's just looking for somebody to have some fun with.
If I'm that guy.
He and his brother, they seem like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, they seem like they're a blast. But here's the thing. Here's the difference, okay? She don't need him. Right? She don't need him. I guess he's playing it the way he should play it. There's absolutely no way he can guarantee that she'll keep him around, so he might as well just let it all hang out. And for some reason, she keeps him around. There's no way he could ever screw up again.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, my fourth grade daughter, she was really hoping at the Super Bowl, the Chiefs win. She's like, when she goes to bed, she's like, Dad, if the Chiefs win.
You didn't let her finish the game?
I mean, that was late, man. She's got to wake up for school, Chris.
Come on, fourth grade daughter.
If it was the Bears,
Third grade Nick Lanuti was up all night watching that game.
No, she's got to go to bed.
Rooting for the 49ers.
Rooting for the 49ers,
well, yeah, because that's what happened with these little kids, right? All the girls wanted the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. So what do you think third and fourth and fifth grade boys wanted?
They want the 49ers.
They wanted the 49ers because they were sick of listening to the girls root for a team and not. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
It was a split. Yeah. That was the thing that nobody's talking about. Little boys fervently rooting for the 49ers because all the little girls in their class had become Chiefs fans.
And she was hoping for a Chiefs win and then a proposal on the 50-yard line after the game. Yeah.
He would have gotten to know. She's worth $1 billion. She's worth $1 billion.
Oh, that would be something.
Yeah.
No,
Taylor Swift ain't married anybody.
I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. Can you imagine the prenup on that one? It's like a 2,000-page document you'd have to sign.
So, yeah, we have after our Swiftie fandom party. Let us digress here. That's going to be Friday, March 5th, or Friday, March 8th at 5 p.m. Must register. Please do so. Family fun. We have a puzzle and game swap. This was popular last year. We're bringing it back. You can drop off any puzzles, gently used puzzles and games between March 1st, 22nd. Between March 1st and March 22nd.
Drop them off and you can exchange for another one.
Family,
Who
friends.
are these families that have gently used games?
So I know.
If you go into my room right here next to the bar, I have shelves of board games. All of them have the cardboard box ripped. All of them are missing pieces. Who are these families that have gently used board games?
Not the Lanutis?
No.
Yeah, not the Lanutis.
We're coming in and the entire box is duct taped together.
Hey, duct tape together. Yeah. I mean,
I have
pieces
risk.
Are there.
I have risk, but there's only 2.5 armies. Here you go.
Here you go. So yeah, come in between March 1st, March 22nd. Drop those gently used puzzles and games off. Make sure they're family friendly as well. And then on March 23rd from 9:30 to 4:30, that's when you can come in and peruse the collection and take what you want.
All right.
So we're really excited about that. And then also this year to celebrate Earth Day, we're participating in the Neighborhood Forest Free Tree Program. Folks can register, go online on our website, and under our events calendar, you'll see the program listed on our events calendar. Click on that. There's a form you fill out, and in April during Earth Week, which I believe is the third week of the month in April, there, you'll receive a free tree. It'll get delivered to the library. You come and pick it up. And you can plant it.
Free tree.
Got to do it by March 15th. That's the
Only
deadline.
Evergreen Park
deadline,
has
March 15th.
this many free trees. The library's giving out free trees. We've had people on from the village before that if you say, hey, I need a tree, they'll just come and give you a tree. I mean, like, there are trees everywhere.
Trees. I mean, we got to live up to our name, right?
Don't ever sit around and say that you need a tree. There's people just handing them out left and right here. Big Finish. What do we got?
Big Finish. Before I go any further, and I totally forgot to say this when we were originally talking about the Sip and Sample, but I got to thank not only our sponsors and the restaurants for participating, but also to our foundation, our library board, and the staff that did the work to put this thing together. It's a lot that goes into it, and they just did an incredible job. So I have to thank them all. Without them, it would not have been as successful as it was, and I totally forgot to mention that before.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Big thanks to everybody out there.
Yeah.
You guys did a fabulous job.
That was the library director making sure he's got a job next year. Just want to point that out there.
Exactly it. Got to thank all these people.
I want to thank my bosses. Just want to make sure you guys know you're the best.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.